Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. We are going through Deuteronomy, and we're actually going to read the scripture today in Deuteronomy. Yesterday, I did kind of an introduction. I was going to actually read the first couple verses, but I didn't. I spent just that time looking at the introduction. Today, I want to read verses 1 through 5, and it's entitled today, "The Longest 11-Day Journey." Well, let me just read here, and then we can talk about it as we go here. Remember, Deuteronomy it's literally like the second law, but it's really reviewing the law. It's not like, oh, here's all of you saw the first law, now here's the second law. It's not like that at all. Moses is reviewing the law so that we can learn, and so the people of Israel can learn from it, learn from their mistakes. Okay. And so let's read here today. This is taken from Deuteronomy chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. These are the words Moses spoke to all Israel in the wilderness east of the Jordan, that is, in Arabah, opposite Surf, between Paran and Tophel, Laban, Hazroth, and Dizhaban. Okay, so it was right in this region here, and he tells all the areas that surround it. Verse 2, it takes 11 days to go from Horeb to Kadesh Barnea by the Mount Seir road. Okay, so they were just on the journey. It should have taken 11 days. In the 40th year, on the first day of the 11th month, Moses proclaimed to the Israelites all that the Lord had commanded him concerning them. This was after he had defeated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, and at Edrei, and had defeated Og, the king of Bashan, who reigned in Asheroth, east of the Jordan in the territory of Moab. Moses began to expound the law, saying, and we're going to get to that tomorrow, what he starts saying. What I wanted us to look at today, it said, up in verse 2, it said it takes 11 days to take that journey. But in verse 3, it says, in the 40th year, on the first day of the 11th month. Did you catch that? He just said, in the 40th year. It should have taken 11 days, but they're now in the 40th year of that journey. Okay? So, and if you remember, this journey, God did not intend for it to be an 11-day journey. Okay? First of all, he was bringing the people out of Egypt, but he also had a process of getting Egypt out of the people. Let me say that again. He brought the people of Israel out of Egypt, but he had to get the Egypt out of the people. Okay, Egypt represents the world. Okay, and he had to get the Egypt out of the people, and that took place in that early journey up to where the Ten Commandments were given and so forth, up at Mount Sinai, and so all that along there, all the law given. It's to develop those people into a godly kingdom, okay, a godly nation that will follow him. So he's developing those people. You think, and God's intention was, okay, I'm developing these people. We're going to be walking right into the promised land. As they're walking into the promised land, you're going to see it. We're going to go through it here because Moses reviews that history. But as they're going into that promised land, they send out the spies, and the spies come back, and we'll cover that in more detail later. But what happens is the people rebel and say, no, we can't go in there. Okay, we don't have the faith in God. They don't come right out and say that, but that is what they're saying. We don't have the faith in God that we can get in there, and so it's really disobeying God. And when that happens, God says, that's it. 40 years, you're going to be wandering around wandering around, and for 40 years, one generation is going to completely die off. Everybody that was here is going to die off, and it's your children here. So that is why the book of Deuteronomy is given, because that first generation died off. Okay, and then you have this new generation that comes 40 years later. These people weren't around during they would have been children maybe, but the adults were all dead now. Okay, so when Deuteronomy is written and is given, when that sermon is given, this is a whole new group of people. It's a whole new generation That wasn't there at Mount Sinai to receive the law. And so now Moses is reviewing that. And so that's what's happening there. So Moses does this because people had to learn. They were actually learning the hard way. Okay, they were given the instruction, but they refused to follow the instruction, and they ended up spending 40 years in the wilderness going the hard way. As we look at this, though, I want you to see that we can learn from this. Okay, we can obey God's law, okay, which that's what God called them to do. Just simply obey the law and follow God's instructions. And they would have had that 11-day journey. Not 11 days. It would have taken longer because God, remember, had to get the Egypt out of the nation of Israel. But it wouldn't have taken 40 years. Okay, but the people did not learn and did not adapt, and they wandered for 40 years. So let's be people that learn and pay close attention to the word and obey it rather than have to learn the hard way. Okay? Hey, thank you for watching. I am a regular dude walking in the word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey looking at the book of Deuteronomy. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.